Yo fam, welcome back to the channel guys, and welcome to our third episode of a 100% journey walkthrough of Demons Souls Remake itself. As usual, we are exactly where we left off on the previous episode itself, and in the episode we're gonna do a little bit of a shorter episode because we are going to find ourselves so few unique weapons itself that we are going to use very early onto the game itself to help us have the little bit of upper hand moving forward itself. If you liked the very first two episodes, then thank you very much, and thank you for being here on the next one itself. No further ado, we're gonna go straight into it because we got a lot of stuff to do.
I'm stuck when the scourge came. I didn't know what hit me. When I came to, I found myself here in this nexus. My wife and daughter fell victim to the demons. But I would be worthless in battle. At the very least, I hope to lend my assistance to you brave slayers of demons. I would be happy to lighten your load and look after any excess baggage.
Stockpile is one of the decent people you will find into the game itself. So he's a local merchant, and he, of course, he take care of all of our goodies itself. So when you are here, make sure, of course, you lighten your load as much as possible, because equipment load is very much a thing into this game. We're gonna switch this over for a second, and then drop all of this.
Rest assured.
And before we do any single thing, we're gonna make sure, of course, we level up on a proper way. There we go.
The monumental will explain the nexus to thee.
Let's go ahead to the monumental first. He is here somewhere on top. This small kid you're gonna need to find. There we go.
We have long awaited you, slayer of demons. I am one of the monumentals. We preserve the fabric of reality. There is a tale I wish to tell you. Once, we too a scourge of demons faced. In the distant past, under benevolent rule, the world was united owing to the soul arts. Until a lust for power caused the awakening of the Old One. Across the land seeped a colorless, deep fog, and the world faced extinction at the hands of the demons. Thanks be, we were able to lull the Old One back to its slumber, yet only after the loss of innumerable souls, and most of the world, lost, erased by the fog. In order to mend the fabric of what lands still remained, we entrusted 6 leaders with 6 precious archstones. One to the king of a small yet industrious land. One to the king of the burrowers underground. One to the wise queen of the great ivory tower. one to the chieftain of lost and ill-fortuned souls. One to the shaman of the tempest-worshipping shadowmen. And the last to the great giants of the northern lands. The archgems were placed in the fringelands that survived. We contained the Old One here below the Nexus and prohibited the soul arts. Finally, we became monumentals, half-living sentinels of the fabric of reality. Alas, the other monumentals have perished, and only I remain. Now it is your turn. You must lull the Old One back to its slumber and seal it away for all eternity. If not, the deep fog will absorb all that we know. Have you the strength to bear this burden?
Yes.
Yes. We are fortunate indeed to have you. Now, go forth and destroy every last demon. The Old One, without demons to feed its souls, will a new servant seek and lure you to its bosom.
Alright, now we have that on the way. Let's go back to our maiden, because now we can officially level up now. First thing first, before we're gonna tackle a new area as well, the one thing you always need to make sure that you pass through the entire game itself, unfortunately, on your spirit form. Because if you die in one of the areas and the zones itself while being human, that will affect the world tendency of the area itself. And the more you die in that world itself, the more it's going to shift himself into a negative spiral. If the world tendency shift himself into a negative spiral, you will see it of course at these gates here. You can see all of them are neutral. It's gonna be completely red. We're gonna see later on, because we're gonna do the world tendency later on into the journey itself. When the world tendency is completely negative, it means completely red, you will encounter much harder enemies in that zone itself. When I mean much harder enemies, I mean like much harder enemies. The challenge will be a lot harder for you to pass. But the loot, a majority of the time, with unique demons you will be able to find in those areas itself, are quite worth it. So it's a high risk, high return type of a system. Then it's only established himself in Demon Souls. So keep that in mind.
Brave soul, for whom death is no fear. Prithee, lull the Old One back to its ancient slumber. What is it? Seekest thou the power of souls? Of course.
Now we're gonna invest. We're gonna invest 50 points into dexterity, so we can use a lot of weapons in generality, and we're gonna pump all the rest of them literally all in strength. Now they will come very clearly later on while we're doing it like this. Now we're gonna swap over if it comes to our bastard sword. We're still under the 50% because we are now equipping our helmets. We're gonna drop this weapon into the fold, and we're gonna go right now into zone 1-1, get ourselves an even better weapon than we have at this point. Go first to the left side to kill yourself the scarab, to get yourself some crafting materials. Hola, hola, hola. There we go. Now we're gonna need to go upstairs there. You're gonna see some people throwing rocks down. We're gonna need to go there because there's a unique weapon there. That's level +1, quite strong. For strength builds, strength plays early on into the game itself. Okay, let's go. We will be exploring this zone later on, so do not worry about it too much. And now we're gonna go up. Be careful in this area here, there's gonna be an officer. Quite of a nasty one. That's what I mean. Ooh. Patience is a virtue. Just really slapping a woman, even if I'm a warrior, that is just blasphemy. Never hurt a lady. Just doing heavy attack with R2. Just take your time with it. There we go. Now we're gonna get our baby. Trust me, this was all worth it. Be careful you don't fall here. You'll be fortunate. Have to do that again. There we go. Now we got the Crushing Battle Axe +1. A very, very strong weapon early on to have. We're just gonna take over here. Don't try this, just wait until they go all the way up, but I was confident I was going to be able to hit this. If you miss your jump there, you might fall and die for no reason. Now we have this for the moment right now. We have everything that we need at this point if it comes to this zone right now. Literally everything that we need. So now we're gonna double back and go to zone 4-1. Get yourself the compound bow, a few unique weapons, talismans as well for faith-based builds, and maybe it's a few faith we can have into the mix itself. Would be great. There we go. Now in the meantime, we are going to
Hello, I'm keeping a close watch.
drop this bad boy in. Any stones we can drop as well.
You have
Good to know. Oh, gracias.
Trade with your souls.
Now we're gonna repair all our weapons, and of course we're gonna purchase ourselves some arrows. That is gonna be very, very much important. Not only now, but for later as well. We're going to replenish this because we are going to need a lot of these bad boys. Not only for the next boss, but as well for we're still under the 40%. Still off a few dragons, probably going to have a long wait. honestly hate the movements of these skeletons here. Of all the Souls games, these are the one I hate the most. Now we're gonna load the other one first. There we go. Oh, yeah. Stay at the far side as possible to the right side. There's 2 more upstairs there. I honestly thought he was already dead though. Told you, absolutely obnoxious movement. You're gonna find yourself another great demon here. The second one to face. Defeating him again should not be any problem, but you just be careful of the kinda loud. Must be kidding me. You must be kidding me. Absolutely obnoxious. You stay here, the other one will come, and the other one will stay on top. Let us approach him from another angle. Hug the wall here. Be very careful here. There's a red skeleton here. Wait until you approach him. Or better say he approaches you. Dodge. You have the Crimson Falcon. The Crimson Falcon is a very powerful weapon. Very much the scales themselves perfectly if it comes to magic. If you're going for a paladin and battle mage playstyle, And you want to have a sword that scales himself with magic, equally with strength itself. This is literally the weapon you need to go. I need to make sure that he does not follow me. Otherwise we're gonna be in deep shit. Oh my god, man, I genuinely hate these skeletons. I honestly hate these things. Honestly. We have a key here. We're gonna need that for a prisoner. Be careful, there's a pressure plate there as well, so be careful of that. We'll be dealing with that one shortly. Where he stands, that's where you find a compound bow. So I need to go there. Be careful right here, skeleton. Let him come to you. I'll open it. That's my fucking fault. I stopped blocking too early. Like a dumbass. I'm gonna go up. There's another skeleton waiting for us upstairs. Let's kill this one now. Now we are at the compound bow. We're gonna go right here. The other direction on top that leads you to the crow. At this point right now, crow is, we will come back to it much later on. Crow provide you with unique stuff. If you go to see on the left side, you're gonna see a wee little trap. On the right side is gonna be another one waiting for you. So we're gonna crank them, go back inside, and see which one is going to come first. Fighting in these corridors are just annoying. I would take the very first fight. Gonna find ourselves the prison cells. There we go. This is one of the vendors we do need to save.
You saved me. Heavens, I can't believe I fell for that trap. I suppose I owe you now. I'm Blige, a grave robber. It's thanks I can provide you with useful goods. Who couldn't do with a little help down in these parts?
So you sell different form of trinkets, bow, weapons, health equipments, just name it. But later on he's gonna have a different form of arsenal. Like fire arrows and this kind of stuff, unique arrows. Pressure plate there, out the wall. And then right here, we're back behind him. Now the difficult part here is not the boss itself, it's all the shards on top that throws fucking spears in our direction. It's really in a bad position there. See that? That's what I mean. Just try to be as careful as possible because these sharks, I know you can snipe the shark from above as much as you can. I really try to eliminate them, so you have this room a little bit more clearer. That is going to be a slight little bit easier method to do. Fucking annoying little bastard. Absolutely, we'll be dealing with them with a big daddy later on. At this point, they are just obnoxious. We're gonna lower this one first. We're gonna lower. Come on, you damn fucking. Okay, now we're there with that. We're gonna be taking that in a second. We're gonna go up first. We're gonna try to trick him. Make him coming outside, and we're gonna run inside, take our loot, and literally run directly out. So we're gonna take this one first. Gonna drop. We're going to lure him. Make sure he's coming outside. Okay, when he's done that, we run inside, take this and run straight back outside. Make sure. Oh, for crying out loud. I honestly. The amount of many times I do this. Some runs they are not so aggressive, and hopefully for in your run they're not gonna be as heavily as aggressive as it is right now for me. Just ignore every single one of them. Literally pass through them. Just ignore them. Great rubber wing. Regeneration world. That can come extremely handy if you're going for a very powerful faith build with a lot of magic that just use regeneration. Now this boss here is very unique. Now in a sense, elf, there's two ways you can deal with this boss. First off, I'm gonna show you the easiest way that you can deal with him. That is actually using your okay, that was not good. Using your damn fucking bow. What you have to do is just listen to his sounds that he's using. You're gonna hear him squeaking. That sound? That is a sound that you need to dodge. You hear that sound? The bird sound there? That is the easiest way you can deal with him. Now the second way you can deal with him, you see that is a knife in his belly right there, right? If you go down and you keep hitting that knife, eventually you're gonna create like a pelvis wound on him. And he's gonna drop on his knees, and that's gonna allow you to hit the bird again. Okay, there's the only two ways you can defeat this boss. The weakest point is the bird. The bird is demon itself in a very weird way. Just listen on the song itself, but the easiest way is so listen on the creaking of the bird, of Tweety itself. Hence, that's why we got ourselves the bow. I would equip ourselves in the way that we did right now. If this thing are far enough in the back, shouldn't be able to hit you, but you have to really go all the way to the back. There we go. I did that. He's muerto. Very easy. That is by far the easiest way you can deal with that boss. By far the easiest way. Like I said, he has a knife on his belly. If you stay on the side of his broken knife itself, you can literally not miss it. The side he have the knife on his pelvis is also the weakest side that you have. The same tactic you're using in the Great Demon, always work around on the area itself where he doesn't use his swinging arm, and you just keep going around him. Keep hitting the knife. The knife will create an eternal bleeding. He will fall on his knees, and that is going to be your indication to hit the bird itself. Now the downside of that way of fighting itself is that you're very much fighting a narrow corridors itself. So like you saw in the fighting the Great Demons itself, it can not really always be the best thing to do, fighting a narrow corridors itself. You can be stuck somewhere that you don't want to be stuck. So now we're gonna level up our health all the way up, so we have a little bit more survivability. And that's it, boys, for today itself. Now we also have another unique thing I do wanted to showcase you. That is a very easy farming method. If you want to farm a little bit of souls itself, and my recommendation is then you make sure, always make sure you go in these zones with your health completely back to a ghost zone. Now this is a very early farming method you can use if you want. Let's say I want to farm and a few souls in the background if you're waiting for the next episode. My recommendation, of course, is to make sure your health is first as high as possible. Do not worry about all the rest. Make sure your health is high as possible and your stamina as high as possible. I want you to have your health at 40 and your stamina at 30 itself. Now that's going to be a lot of farming you need to do if you're waiting for the next episode itself. In the meantime, that is a stats you need to focus yourself on. The sub calf I'm going to provide you is, of course, first 20 into health and 15 into endurance itself. That's the very first soft cap if you're waiting for the next episode itself. If you want to do this farming method, of course. For those who just want to continue how it is and want to do step by step, it's also not a problem, because later on the episode I'm gonna give you access to the best farming method in the entire game, where you can become OP, ridiculously strong and ridiculously fast at the next episode itself, literally on the next episode. So it's just up to you. If you want to have a quick little farm, let me showcase you this very fast then. Now if you come here, I open up, of course you can see the vendor is back here. Same vendor.
Hello there, we meet again. You look terrible. Cheer up. Life is an adventure.
Now, of course, you can see he has a still assortment, weapons, gear sets. He has now fire arrows, holy arrows, and this kind of stuff, light arrows, etc., etc., etc. And if you open up, and of course, this gate here, you're gonna see these mages here, and these are one you're actually gonna need to kill. Every single time you kill him, these spectrum that he actually summons, they're all gonna die with him. There's no point in attacking the spectrum individually. You need to focus yourself on the witch queen itself. She is the most important thing, and that's why you're gonna need your bow. You can only, it's very simple, it speaks for itself. You rinse, you kill this guy, and you rinse and repeat. See, and all of them are going to go away. And every single time you do this technique, you're gonna have 3,000 souls. You get that? That is like very, very, very simple. No. And that is the earliest farming method you can use, and probably the most easiest one you can get very early on into the game itself. Like I said, on the next episode, I am going to showcase you where you can find or at least have access to the best farming method already into the entire game itself. But that is going to be for the next episode. And yes, do not worry about the level itself, because the boss is really, really easy. Really easy. Really easy. But either way, that is going to be for the next episode itself. So thank you very much for being here, and if you like this content, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you have any additional question, you can always reach me on Discord, or you can find me live on Twitch itself under the name ashennk itself. Once again, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. I'll catch you guys at the next one, right? Take care. One love. One love only, man. Boo.